So without question, to antidote the Xbox murderers, which are literally the prison communities, my friends, it's a big problem. They're utilizing, opportunizing, cheating, homosexual lies. Now they brought in the Xbox people are also in the council, and they brought in green cards. Right. So what's a green card? It's named after the Greens. Well, the Greens are friends of Judge Charlton, the Northern Irish terrorist. The Greens are Northern Irish, and they've created green cards to allow all the South American blacks to come into America and then kill Americans. That's what the green card is. So anyone with a green card from South America needs to be deported immediately, all their money taken back and recouped and given to the victims of 9/11. We need this deportation to go on in America because the green card is going on in America. The green card is actually Judge Charlton, the suitcase murderers, is the Greens. Okay, so you must not give cards. Anyone with a green card must be kept at a long distance. You must never go near them. You must call the police and let them take them back to wherever they come from. And this green card is being used all over France, all over America, Sweden, UK, Italy, Spain, Russia, India, Australia, Thailand, and China. But they're mostly using it in America and in Europe and France right now. And all those Africans that have arrived in France, literally 10 million in the last 30 years. That's a whole load, my friend, way too many. And now we need the French army to literally deport all of them, because they are the suitcase murderers with that green card given to them by the Greens that are best friends with Jake Nava. And now let's have a look at Jake Nava. I'll show you a picture of him. Well, people listening to this might be thinking, well, this is all a bit much for this poor guy Max and this incident with the case. Why is he going through so much turmoil? Well, it's because I was adopted by Elvis Presley and the blacks don't like him. All right, and also I was adopted by Marilyn Monroe, and it's the same thing there. And guess what? They killed them both. Actually killed by the councils that were threatening to kill Marilyn Monroe weeks before she was murdered. The councils were telling her they're going to kill her. All right, and then she's found dead. Right now, also I was made the head of the Tea Group. Right, that's also the head of China. All the hippies, the spiritual world, the art and fashion world. The decent doctors out there and the good people out there. Education world is the Tea Group, Cambridge University. Okay, so the Tea Group's under attack. Now that's China. Now, tragically, the doctors, the upper classes, the A group, the chicken shops, okay, that's your upper classes, it's your chicken shops. Okay, they have put a device inside my heart, inside my brain, and inside my stomach using operations. I didn't need those operations, but they took me in there to then put these devices in there. They're planning to blow me up. The suitcase murderers want to blow me up. It's because I own the banks, right? And they don't want me to have it. They don't want the Tea Group, the Cambridge University, America, Sweden, Spain, and so on, to have a share of the banks. In fact, they're going to be made all homeless, in fact. That's the plan of the A group that have all these devices in me that can blow me up. So the people that are doing this are the upper classes in the A group, and we know that they're Africa, right? But then they're led actually by the upper classes that have a home right there in Morocco. And Morocco is their hometown. So when they have these devices inside me, they're attacking China. So I now need Kim Jong-un, who's actually a good friend of mine. And I bought, I'm actually very, very rich. And with my money, I bought at least £300 billion worth of weapons off him. We've had a handshake and he's cool with that. And anytime they blow me up, I'm going to ask China to use my bombs to bomb Morocco and blow the whole place up. And I'm being kind to Africa when we do that. We haven't touched Africa yet. We can do if you want. So yeah, Morocco, the head of Morocco is actually leading the suitcase murdering campaign that is running, and that Morocco is in Africa and he's using the Africans to become the suitcase murderers, and they're killing the Tea Group that own the banks, ATM machine, at Max. Max is the head of the T group. So that means if any time they use any of these devices in me, then China blows up Morocco. Okay, and if they want to blow up some African countries, they might do. I don't know. I'll be dead by then. However, I bought with my money several £billion worth of long-range missiles, and I've got them aimed at Morocco right now because those are the guys. Upper classes are led by Morocco, the largest gay community in the world. Paedophiles, all of them, and they run the law society, the 18 sex laws, to ring fence everyone else into death camps. And then the Ukraine is making thousands of child porn. Let's not forget the Ukraine is the A group, unlike Poland, unlike Russia, unlike America, unlike the rest of Europe. Ukraine and Morocco are making loads of child porn, sending this out everywhere. Everyone's stepping on it, and now they're all indicted, and they're all up for the death camp. That is coming up in the future, that the A group is planning, and they're starting this death camp parade by attacking Russia. Okay, so the killing spree is just ridiculous. I mean, they started doing these murders. One of these murders was I have a friend called Robert, who's a Jamaican guy, a Jamaican Irish guy, and we were best friends ever since we were 4 years old, and we were best friends throughout our school days. We're very close, and they killed a 9-year-old boy. It was to attack both me and Robert. Now, as I said, the A group, the chicken shops, the psychiatry pump, they're planning to kill all the Jamaicans, and then also all the Hindus as well, and all the Muslims, and all the Catholics, and most of the Christians. The Christian church is doing that. They're planning to kill most of the Christians. Okay, so one of the people they killed is a guy called Jason Woodley. He was a tennis player. He was what he called a prodigy tennis player by the time he was 13, and he was playing professional bouts. He was a half Indian, half Irish guy. He lived quite near where I lived. He was very good friends with my Jamaican friend Robert. And then Jason Woodley was murdered actually by Judd Charlton, who pushed him in front of a fast train in the London Underground, and he died immediately. That's how he was murdered. And then the electronic companies, as explained, was stolen off the I group. That's me, Max, stolen off Germany, off Holland, off the Queen's people, and then they named. Then they killed Jason Woodley, a tennis player, right? Killed him. They pushed him off the platform, and now these Xbox people have named their media scenarios. They call them platforms. So basically, the A group, your African blacks and a lot of the rap world are pushing people off platforms, and they're killing them because they own the banks, and the blacks have stolen the banks. To cease the fight about the banks, they have to kill the Queen's people. Well, that's their process. So I'm not saying they have to, but that's their process. That's how they're thinking. But they've got 2 brain cells, and soon they'll be in prison and deported too. So it's the train services that are also the A group. The train services have that camera in my room trying to indict me for anything possible because my dad, King John, he owns the train services, and it was all stolen off him. And now they're trying to look for things like holes in my socks so that they can keep stealing the train services. And that every time I get on a train, I always get threatened by the train drivers. All the male train staff are openly telling me that I'm not allowed to have a girlfriend, that they're going to attack women, and they're going to attack my family. This is what they are, even just yesterday. So given that we know that these train drivers, male, they're also the Suitcase murderers, and there's like loads of murders going on there. So yeah, Judd and his accomplice, Jake Narber, 6'4", a monster. They grabbed Jason Woodley, my mate Robert's best friend, who's a Jamaican guy. Robert's best friend is this Hindu Irish guy who is a prodigy tennis player, Jake Nava, who is South America, they pushed him off the platform. And that's what media platforms refer to. They're boasting about it. That's what they're doing. And that Jake Nava has also, and Judd, the A group, they've also stolen the whole train services too, not just the banks, but also the train services. It's actually owned by British people. Now it's owned by South America. And all those blacks working there are the suitcase murderers. And anybody stepping on the train is working with them and deserves to be pinned down, locked down, tied to a bed and treated likewise. Raped and filmed and distributed. That's what they did to me. And I was just a kid of 5 years old. So there's a case that explains what's going on here. The suitcase murderer, one of the suitcase murderers includes a woman called Sarah Boone, and she murdered somebody and put them in a suitcase. Now, she's a very wicked person, and her name has been picked out of a registrar. Right, you can tell that because people that know what's going on know that Sarah Booney is actually has been specifically chosen. Now, in their group, there are so many people in their group, they can look at their names and decide which person they'll assign and pay millions to their families to then do a suitcase murder. And Sarah Boone is one of them. Sarah Boone, his name's been picked out because when I was about 13, I had a girlfriend, and she is one of my cousins, and she's actually a queen. She was 14, 15, and we had a love affair for a few years, and she's called Sarah. And guess what? The A group with that camera, the suitcase murderers, then picked out a woman called Sarah Boone to become a suitcase murderer, and then now she's gone to prison for life. And her surname is Booney, which is another reference to another guy in the A group, somebody called Boo, who is a German guy. He's a German witch. He works with Africa and the Dark Indians, and he hates India, the spiritual people, Buddhists, Catholics, Christians, and everyone. He just doesn't Jewish people. He hates them. He hates Jamaicans. Boo, Michael Schur, he's called, from London. He is part of the suitcase murderers, and then also in this Sarah Boone case, and she's gone to prison for life. Now so does Michael Schur and his best mate, Luke Parkhouse, who ate a bowl of sick. America should know what this bowl of sick is. It's the Super Bowl. All right? So the guy called Michael Schur is also called Boo. And then Sarah Boone, a suitcase murderer, is working with Boo. So Michael Schur now goes to prison too if Sarah Boone goes to prison. And Sarah Boone has just gone to prison for life. And so now does Michael Schur. He also goes to prison. So does his best mate, Luke Parkhouse, ate a bowl of sick. And his best mate, Nick Grosso. Nick Grosso has just tried to kill his brother, who his brother is on my side. Right, and Nick Grosso has just tried to kill one of my best mates, who's actually, I consider, my brother. Right, and then together we're known as the Double G. Me and my brother, we're known as the Double G, and we own the banks. We've been very attacked by the suitcase murderers. That includes Sarah Boone, Michael Schur, Luke Parkhouse, and Nick Grosso. Michael Schur, Luke Parkhouse, and Nick Grosso, they all live in London. So the suitcase murderer, Sarah Boone, she's actually attacking the royals, and a woman called Sarah, who is a queen, and she's my girlfriend. We started dating when I was 13 and she was 15, 14, something like that. And we dated for a few years, very in love, and there's nothing wrong with our relationship. We were an escape from the 550 Club that were trying to anally rape me aged 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. And that group is the A group. The head, the schools, psychiatry, and the Law Society. The man with the glove is the head of the Law Society. He's a sparkling glove, by the way. Michael Jackson sparkling glove. Michael Jackson says, "Look, you guys in front of me, I love you all so much. I want you to know about the glove before you know about me." That's Michael Jackson. Why don't you respect him? What's wrong with you? Are you mentally ill too? Like the suitcase murderers? Yes or no? Hurry up. So Jake Nava and Judd Charlton are the Northern Irish group, but Jake Nava is South American. He's from Mexico, Colombia. So Jake Nava, he is the A group with that camera in my room, and they are Black Magic. They are all the African, not all of them, but they represent the African men, and the African men are the Suitcase murderers. Not all the African men. Certainly, the musicians in Africa are on my side. Okay, and all the African women, they're also on my side. The African men and Black Magic plan to kill all the African women. All right, they plan to kill the Suitcase murderers. Are also planning to kill all the African women and all the Jamaicans too. And that the chicken shops are the A group, psychiatry, and the doctors in the hospitals are the A group, the upper classes. Okay, not all the upper classes. Now they're attacking Persians, Jewish people, Muslims, Catholics, Dutch, Swedish, Italian, Spain, America, Russia, China, Thailand. So the Black Magic group are attacking a huge group that includes all the Muslims. Pakistani Muslims are being very indicted by this Suitcase murdering group. The Suitcase murderers did the 7/7 bombings and then blamed Pakistanis so that they could mix all the Queen's people with Africans to kill them all off after stealing their banks. So Judd Charlton is a Northern Irish drunk. He gets drunk at 9:30 in the morning. He's drunk all day. He's been like this for many 20 years and more. Uh, he's in his 50s and he's working with Fiona Green, who is like his mum. Fiona Green is a despicable woman. She's despicable. I can't stand this person. She's the real instigator of the Suitcase murderers. She lives at 28 Tottenham Street, London, and they're baby killers. They've been killing babies since the 16th century, cutting their throats, having anal sex with them, and then drinking their blood. That's what they do. Most radio presenters know this fact. It's a well-known fact amongst criminal psychologists. I'm a criminal psychologist. I've studied clinical psychology since I was 17. And by the time I was 24, I was a trained psychologist with the best psychologist in London. Okay, so Fiona Green is one of the baby killers. She's in the A group. That's with Judd Charlton, that are the Suitcase murderers. 28 Tottenham Street, London, West 1. Judd Charlton, he lives in Hastings right now. He has a long beard and he's hiding. All right, he's in his 50s, and he also, I know, in his house, in his room, since he was a child, since he was about 11 years old, he's had a statue in his room. It's a little statue of a very young girl, about 7 years old. She's a white girl. She's very pretty, and she's begging for money. She's homeless. And this is the theme of the Suitcase murderers that are running our councils, and then making sure no one can get into properties now. They've stolen all the properties. They become the head landlord. They shouldn't be the head landlord. They are nothing but drunks and the Suitcase murderers and the prison communities. And now they put a legislation in the property renting system, making it impossible for people with £3,000 cannot now rent a flat anywhere in the world. In the Western country, England and America. So if you've got £3,000, you cannot get a room or a flat in England because of legislation created by Fiona Green, Judd Charlton, and the Suitcase murderers. Judd's got this statue of a young girl, penniless and homeless. She's done nothing wrong. She's been attacked by a ruthless gay community, the Mardi Gras. Not all gays are involved. We've got George Michael on our side, who really likes us. I know George Michael. George Michael knows me. He's written a lot of songs about me, and also Alan Carr. He's also on our side, and he's not a bad gay guy at all. And these gays are very tolerable and good people. And the other gays cast a very bad shadow across the gay community. Let's put it that way. And that the bad gays are actually the real Suitcase murderers, the instigators and callers of these murderers, based on a complete falsity of using their cameras. They've stolen the banks. The gay community have stolen the banks. They are the pink community. Right? The pink community have stolen the banks. They are also all the blacks in America or in South America. and they're the green cards. They've issued the green cards to all the South Americans to come into America to kill the Queen's people because we own the banks. And they've stolen the banks off us, and now they plan to kill us all so they don't have to fight for the banks. So I was brought up by by a guy called Jay. Oh well, I mean, lots of people and very good people, by the way. But then there's a rogue guy, and he's very, very rogue, and he's dark Indian, representative of all the dark Indians, Bangladeshis, for instance, and Morocco, and a lot of the Africans is represented by a dark Indian representative, and he's called Jay, and he's in the 550 Club. He's 50 years old, trying to annually rape 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-year-olds. Okay, and certainly all sexing them all the time. He's got a underwear on, and they're sticky, if you know what I mean. It's crusty pants. You'll see crusty pants coming up in Simpsons. The true story about the head of all the corner shops. He's Mr. Krusty. He likes little boys. He's also now joined the EU, that's led by 15 gay paedophiles, the anti-art movement. So they're a huge gay pedophilia group running the EU that are trying to destroy the Queen's people because there's women in that group. All right, now, when I was 15, I had a relationship with a school girlfriend of mine called Rachel Bailey. She's a beautiful girl, British-German girl, and we fell in love. And then she asked to marry me. And then the brilliant song by Dire Straits, Romeo and Juliet, is actually about me and Rachel. And also, Michael Jackson knows Rachel as well. He loves Rachel, and Michael calls her Elizabeth Taylor because Rachel does look very much like Elizabeth Taylor. So I'm very lucky, but we're also very unlucky for what's going on. Now, Rachel Bailey is also seen being attacked by the A group that are also psychiatry, all the chicken shops, the corner shops, and then they own all the beer companies. They stole all the beer companies after the Second World War off Germany. Everything that was owned by Germany is now owned by the chicken shops, like the banks, the electronic companies, and the beer companies. So you'll notice Bailey's alcohol. What is it? A liqueur. Bailey's liqueur is named after my wife, Rachel Bailey. So Judd Charlton is desperately attacking everyone I know, all my girlfriends and wives. For instance, I have my first girlfriend was Kate McIntosh, and Judd doesn't understand that I'm having my girlfriends to escape the 550 Club that are trying to anally rape me. They're regularly oral sexing me, putting his own cock right near my mouth every single day, begging that I suck his cock, but I don't, right, for many, many years. Even so, Judd and his camera, they're all watching this, and they're not offending to this pedophilia going on, but they're offending to something like what happened with Julian or what happened with me earlier, as explained with the case. So Judd is now, and the Northern Irish and that camera, the chicken shops, are attacking all my girlfriends, and that includes Kate McIntosh, also Rachel Bailey, and Becky is also under attack. She's a queen too, she's Southern Irish. And the band Keen is about my girlfriend and wife, Becky. And also in EastEnders, Becky is being played by Bianca right now. And it's a true story what's going on in EastEnders. And that guy, Reese, is actually Judd, the suitcase murderer. Okay, that's EastEnders right now. It's a true story. Bianca is playing my wife's part, Becky. And she's under attack. You can see by Judd, who's also attacking Rachel Bailey, Becky, also Katrina, and my wife Pilgrim. Queen Pilgrim is also my girlfriend. I met her when we were 11. We got married when we were about 15 after my relationship with Rachel, and then nowadays the brilliant Taylor Swift is actually playing Queen Pilgrim's part, and we're all under attack by the suitcase murderers that plans to kill us all because the suitcase murderers stole our banks. So Taylor Swift is actually playing Queen Pilgrim's part, my girlfriend, my wife, and that Taylor Swift and Max own the banks. ATM machines are at Max. Actually, it's at Max and Taylor Swift, and that Max has only got £5 in the bank. right? And it's all been stolen off us. We should have £1 trillion in our bank, me and Taylor, but we've got nothing in our banks. There's a few of us in our family, and we're all very poor, right? And we're trying to make this back. And the brilliant artistry in America is assisting us and supporting us. We don't support the suitcase murderers and their prophetic premeditation to try and kill us all. Okay, so now upper classes, the bad side of the upper classes are the A group with this camera, then stealing the banks and then giving it to Africans, Moroccans, the gays, and so on, and the Category A prisoners. And then psychiatry are the A group, they're the suitcase murderers, and they're Dr. Desai in Blackpool. And Dr. Desai has named his ward the Churchill's ward. The Churchills are related to the Royals, and they've named a mental health ward. They're insinuating that the Royals are mentally ill and that the suitcase murderers are not. Over and out. So the A group is attacking the I group, which is our group, and we are the fashion world, music, literature, the arts, education, Cambridge University, all the nurses, for instance, are the I group. We're a witness, and that is also Katy Perry's Witness tour is actually about this, and that we're under attack by the suitcase murderers that are stolen our banks, that are stealing the banks off us, even if we've got holes in our socks. Okay, so now one of the suitcase murderers, what do you call it? One of the suitcase murderers' cases is Peter Tobin, right? Peter Tobin is got the name Toby in his name, right? And he was picked out because of that, and then he was picked out by the psychiatry department. And Toby is a friend of mine. He's an artist. Both me and Toby are both artists. And my mum is a head of the Royal Academy of Arts. She's a queen, and now me and Toby are the heads of the Royal Academy of Arts. We're members, and we're actually the heads. And Fiona Green at 28 Tottenham Street, London, she's the suitcase murderers constantly attacking us. All right, and she's attacking the art world. And then Fiona Green is Peter Tobin and all the murders that he did. He murdered a girl called Maxwell. You see? Okay? And they're attacking the music world, the university world, and all the Catholics, the Jewish people, the Chinese, and the Muslims, the Pakistanis are all under attack by the suitcase murderers, who are basically Central Africa, all the African men there, and Morocco. So, and to stop these murders, we now need the whole world to sanction Morocco, right? Because that's a suitcase murderer central. The upper classes are actually led and love and live, and their home is Morocco, which is right next to Africa. And again, the upper classes have brought African hunting to Britain. That's what fox hunting is. But now they're fox hunting the middle and working classes too, using falsities and a camera and somebody's holes in their socks. And now everyone's getting killed by the upper classes, like for just irrelevant reasons. Yeah, sorry, I missed a section earlier on in this article about Jake Nava and Judd Charlton with that camera that they've looking in my bedroom, and they saw me messing around with a friend of mine. Well, I didn't know this guy, and I put him in this case. And put the lid down and then lifted it after 50 seconds because I've been in there myself. I've been in there. You can stay in there for at least half an hour, 2, 3, 4 hours and have no damage whatsoever. It's full of holes, and I've been in there myself playing hide and seek prior to this. And then so they've been staring at this and they're using this, a completely insignificant event, to then say so many things. I mean, it's just taken out of context, if you know what I mean. Now, Jake Narva's doing that. He created the rap world. Right? He runs the councils and they own the banks. They are at max ATM machines. Him and the Northern Irish guy, Judd Charlton, and Jake Narva, they are Jack the Ripper. Yes, they are. Now, I'm going to do a piece on Jack the Ripper later because there's a lot of evidence there we need to go through. But they are Jack the Ripper. I've got the evidence. and that's clear, right? And you're going to be very, very shocked. But for now, you need to know Judd did those murders with Jake Nava. Jake was about 12, Judd was about 13. I repeat, Jake was 12, Judd was 13, stabbed them in the face repeatedly. You can see how sick these people are. Okay, they're suitcase murderers. They've stolen the banks using anything they can, and they've got nothing, by the way, absolutely nothing to use. Okay, they're desperado. And that while looking at the camera, they're attacking this situation in my bedroom with this case at the end of my bed. Well, actually, that's the same bed that the 550 Club were sexually abusing me from. So where's the complaints about this? They're prolific gay paedophiles. Surely that's a whole lot worse. Okay, it certainly is a lot worse, and they don't mention it. Now, Jake Nava and Judd Charlton, they're both known for wearing suits. Why are they wearing suits when they're only 7 years old? Jake Nava is very, very rich family. They've stolen the bank, so he can afford anything. And at 7 years old, he was wearing tailor-made suits. Why is that? Well, it's because of that camera and what they've done, and they're stealing the money, and they keep wearing a suit, saying that that's why they're rich. Well, it's all lies. I mean, South Americans are liars, right? Homosexual lies from the Mardi Gras. So Judd and Jake are all always wearing suits, and you'll see in the picture Jake Nava, that's him, and that's his suit, and that's his girlfriend, and they're the suitcase murderers. Are trying to kill all the pretty women, the Queen's people, after stealing the banks off the Dutch. Dutch are married into the British royal family. Now all the Queen's people own the banks. And America, all the Queen's people there own the banks because the British Queen married the Dutch, the head of Holland, and the head of Holland owns the banks, the ATM machines. I'm their son. So now Judd and Jake are always wearing suits, and they're talking about Suitcase. And that Jake wearing a suit, he created the rap world, and he's a Category A prisoners. They are Jack the Ripper, my friends. And then Jake was something like 12 years old. Judd was 13 years old when he did those murders. Did you know that? What an awful thought that is, and that's the truth, my friends. How awful that is. I'm just horrified personally. Right? Okay, so in later years, so many murders have gone down, and people like myself and so many others, we don't really know what's going on. And then I noticed at Judd's place, he has a company, and that company is called AC Me Demolition. And I saw this company card. That's a big sort of business card, like the size of a piece of paper, and it's AC Me Demolition, and that's owned by Judd Charlton, who runs that company. It's a pseudo company. It's not really a company, right? And now AC Me Demolition is referring to the fact that they did 9/11. Right, the suitcase murderers did 9/11. This woman has gone to prison, Sarah Booney. She's actually one of the people that have done 9/11. All right, and now the way this has occurred is Judd, his dad works in the film industry, and Judd's elder sister, she's a punk, and Judd is also a punk. You know, they drink their own piss, they sleep in their own piss, they sleep in their own mess, they live in a complete shithole, they puke up in the room, they piss in the room. That's the kind of punks they are. They're foul. They're nothing like me, by the way. Okay, so Margarita has groomed Judd into being a murderer. Because the Margarita, the upper classes, let's not forget, the upper classes was created by, the punk movement was created by the upper classes. They are public school boys. One of them is Sid Vicious, all right? And strangely, they're wearing suits for some reason. Why are punks wearing suits? Why is that? It's not often you see that. Well, actually, they're the suitcase murderers, the punks. So Judd's elder sister works in the film industry. She used to be working on the Python films, but she's been exiled because she's just a vile person. She shouldn't be in any professional job, let alone in a film studio. However, she was, and she got to meet a Northern Irish guy there called Steve Onions. Steve Onions is a horrible guy. I know him. I've worked in the film industry for years myself, and I've actually worked on films that Steve Onions has worked on. Steve Onions is a friend of Judd Charlton and that camera in my room. Right, Steve Onions is Northern Irish, and he what does he look like? I mean, probably the ugliest guy I've ever seen in my life. I'm not interested in people's looks. I don't judge people in people's looks. I never have. And in this situation, other people would be very interested to know that he's bent over. He's very scrawny looking, and he's probably the ugliest guy you'll ever meet. And he's called Steve Onions. He's a demolition expert. He packed the buildings with demolition explosives, hyperbolic demolition explosives, and they did 9/11 because Judd and Jake Nava are also in. They both got editing machines in their rooms. Judd's got editing machine. Jake is big music video director, and he works for Saatchi and Saatchi advertising industry. So a lot of the makeup adverts you see on telly is done by Jake Nava, the suitcase murderer, and he's organising all the suitcase murderers. Actually, there are loads of suitcase murderers. Actually, Jack the Ripper is one of them. Maddie's another suitcase murder. Nottingham murders and the Southport murders, they were mostly done by black people, African men. And that's the group that are ACME Demolition. So if you see the Southport murders, that's ACME Demolition that have done that. And they're attacking, as you can see in the Southport murders, they seem to be attacking Taylor Swift. So with the 9/11 attack, it's mostly an editing job. However, there are a whole load of explosive fuse, and they also took the planes. And I know that Steve Onions, the demolition expert in the film industry, he uses explosions more complicated than the military. All right, they got more money, for instance, the film industry, and they spent it on extensive amount of explosive materials, and they commission all this kind of stuff, and they can also hijack plane controls and crash them. Okay, the same people with the demolition stuff, they're also crashing planes. Actually, Steve Onions from Shepperton Studios and Pinewood Studios, he's got a permanent place in Pinewood Studios, actually at the back lot in Pinewood Studios. I know where he is. He's at the back lot area, and right there is a massive. There is what you call it's what you call the chippy area where the carpenters work, where they do all the woodwork stuff. You know, the infrastructure for all the sets. So that's all done in that area where Steve Onions is, and the brilliant Coen brothers wrote a film called Fargo about a wood chipper, right? And they're talking about Steve Onions from the film industry that later on went on to do 9/11 because he's a demolition expert. And with Judd Charlton, they are ACME Demolition. They are the suitcase murderers. Okay, so Steve Onions has been in the game since before I was born, and he's been attacking America uh, long before I was born. So it's a consistent attack going on. Let's look at the famine in Ireland. That's also the A group. They're attacking the royals, and they did the Irish famine. They did loads of fires in London in the early 1900s. They're constantly killing people. The first Jack the Ripper was in the 1890s or 1880s. Again, it's the same group now that are doing the recent Jack the Rippers. So with the 9/11, all the experts know that 9/11 was roughly an editing job, and that it was a pristine editing job, and the person that has done it is very good at editing. AKA Jake Nava, who's 6'4". You'll see him in these photos. He lives at 18 Southcote Road. He works for Saatchi and Saatchi, which is the advertising industry. He's their editor and cameraman. So you imagine if you don't know, the advertising industry only hires the very best cameramen and the very best editors. Anyone working there will get paid about 1,500 for just a weekend's work, and that's Jake Nava. Now the reason he got that job because he's got contacts and he's working with he's a killer, and that gives you credential in one of the worst industries in the world. That is the advertising industry. Saatchi and Saatchi Saatchi and Saatchi offices are are parallel to Gower Street in London. They got their offices there, the doors wide open. There's only African staff working in there, and they're making all the TV advertising in Britain and America. And that Saatchi and Saatchi is the Southport murderers and the Suitcase murderers. Okay, Charles Saatchi was seen at a bar trying to strangle his girlfriend, Trini. You might know her from Good Morning TV, and she's the fashion editor. And Saatchi was seen trying to strangle her because Saatchi and Saatchi is the real Suitcase murderer and is very much available. His offices are there for everyone to go to on Gower Street. Parallel to Gower Street are his TV advertising offices. And when you go inside, I've been there, there's only African men there. I don't see any white people there at all. Okay, some more about Saatchi and Saatchi that run the TV advertising that you see on your TV every day. Okay, well, they are the Suitcase murderers. Yes, they are. They are half of Africa, and they're trying to kill everyone in the West. They specifically hate Russia and America right now, and Saatchi is the Ukraine, the farming industry, and the Suitcase murderers. So it's the truth that I was working in the film industry about 2000, the year 2000. This is before 9/11, and I met Steve Onions for the first time. I've known he's worked there for years, but Steve Onions is a monster. He's been pulling planes down since the 80s because they got equipment that can hack into the plane controls, and then they can crash those planes. And they've been doing that since the 80s. All right, so he's hated this guy, Steve Onions. And when I arrived there, they didn't like it because they know I'm also working for the BBC, and we're BBC Panorama. That's the last group that they want around Steve Onions because they might say something about him. They might find out about him. And this is a nightmare for the Northern Irish, also for the gay community that they're running. So they also knew, and I didn't know, but they knew that Princess Diana knew about my story and about the Suitcase murderers and how they were taking an irrelevant incident and taking it out of context, and then destroying all the Queen's people. And Diana was very, very against this, and she knew that I was being heavily victimized, basically based on my colour, race, and that type of thing. I'm a Hindu, British Hindu. I'm a Catholic and a Jewish person, adopted. Now, Princess Diana knew I was being victimised by the Suitcase murderers, and also that my dad, Julian, he was also being victimised, and he's Spanish. So Princess Diana found out about this because my dad is also, my main dad is King John, and we're related to the Elizabeth royal family. And Princess Diana knew about me, and I didn't know that she knew about me in the year 2000. I hear from hearsay, I heard that she really liked me. She saw my artwork. She knew all about me, and that she said that she wanted to marry me. Princess Diana said that she wanted to marry me, and that she was seen on the telly saying that she wanted to marry a doctor. Right now, she knows that my dad is St. John, the head of the ambulance services, and that my dad has chosen me to be the head doctor too. Now, Princess Diana knew that I was a head doctor, but not quite the doctor yet. But she wanted me to. She wanted to marry a doctor. If you remember her life just before she was murdered, that she was looking to marry a doctor. And she's actually talking about me, but she couldn't marry me because in her interview with Bashir, she said it was too complicated. And correct, it is very complicated, and it was Martin Bashir's group that eventually killed her. Martin Bashir killed Princess Diana. Princess Diana chose Martin Bashir because he's the corner shops. The corner shops are the A group with that camera. They are the Suitcase murderers. Wherever Martin Bashir is, he needs to be hung immediately. They've killed Princess Diana, and then they did 9/11. Over and out. So Bashir is connected to Steve Onions that is controlling planes and crashing them. Well, I've seen him control cars and he crashes cars regularly. That's part of his job. He works on all the films, including all the films that we watched in Hollywood. All those crashes, all those planes, all those accidents are all being created by a special effects guy called Steve Onions. He's actually the main special effects guy in the whole business. He killed Princess Diana. He's the ugliest man I've ever seen in my life. He's working with Judd Charlton, Jake Narvo, always wearing suits. Okay, so without question, they've targeted all the royal family, Prince William, Prince Harry, and Kate Middleton, and Meghan. All right, so they've been targeted by psychiatry right now, the bad side of the upper classes. And the bad side of the upper classes are mostly doctors in the hospitals, lawyers, and the psychiatry department. Not to say that all psychiatrists are involved, but in London, all the good jobs are taken by those suitcase murderers from the upper classes. So, yeah, a lot of them are guilty. And they killed Princess Diana. Right, so I was in hospital recently, and my psychiatrist knows that I'm talking, reporting about Princess Diana, and he was kept asking me, "Why are you talking about Princess Diana? What you say about her is completely untrue," and that he was trying to suppress the information. That's Dr. Desai. He then months later tries to kill me using a certain medication that they also gave Elvis Presley that killed him. So he was caught trying to murder me. That report has now gone to the police, and Dr. Desai, with many agencies involved against him, were trying to get him in Broadmoor, where he belongs. And he won't be deported, he'll be put in prison. Actually, with a few of those psychiatrists there have all been placed by the people that killed Princess Diana. And there's about 5 of them at Blackpool Hospital right now. All those psychiatrists, they killed Princess Diana. And anytime I talk about Princess Diana's death and reporting it, I get told off grievously by them, by the psychiatry department that are also working with Category A prisoners, sending them out to attack me, to attack women in Blackpool, intimidation. So I'm a witness, and they're intimidating a witness, and they've killed already several people. When I go out, anytime I go out for food, shopping, out and about in Blackpool, I get accosted more than twice every single day by Category A prisoners sent in by Dr. Desai and a psychiatrist at Blackpool Harbour. All right, they've got a ward there called the Churchill's ward. They're insinuating the Churchills are insane. How are they insane? What have they done wrong? Absolutely now. Okay, the only people that are completely insane is the psychiatry department, the suitcase murderers. They killed Princess Diana, and I can't wait till they go to prison. So Dr. Desai at the Blackpool Harbour Hospital and his friends and this guy Mono at this hospital here, they've targeted a lot of people that I know. And these people, especially all my girlfriends, have been targeted, and all my family, my mum, all my auntie Jane, Maggie, and then all my cousins, Sarah, Kate, Tabitha, Alexandra, Piers, and Nicholas and James, and they've all been targeted because we are essentially the Churchills. Because Winston Churchill is related to my dad, King John, and then the Dr. Desai is targeting us all, and they're actually killing people around us, and he's getting away with it. Okay, so now Dr. Desai is also the group that won't let me have a girlfriend all my life. I'm not allowed a girlfriend for over 20 years. I've been single. I've got women who want to go out with me, but they can't because Dr. Desai and the Category A prisoners won't allow me. So Michael Jackson's story actually tells my story too. Michael really wanted to tell my story to the world. That's why he brought in the case and the glove, and he will also tell you that he's not had a girlfriend for 30 years. And it's because, and he's actually talking about me. I'm not allowed a girlfriend because the chicken shops, they're killing the Queen's people after stealing our banks. For instance, you'll notice all the corner shops now have ATM machines in their shop. Why is that? It's because they've stolen the banks. Those little hefty little nobodies have stolen our banks. So I really need I'm King John's son. He is Saint John Ambulance Services in Britain, and I now need mental health staff to start gathering these people who've been attacking us. They are the suitcase murderers. They must not be allowed out. They must be totally monitored. You must absolutely lock them down immediately, as fast as you can, starting with procedures. Okay, so now the suitcase murderer and the people behind that camera initially are Judge Charlton, Northern Irish. He lives in Hastings with a very long beard. He's hiding. He's left London because I was reporting him in London, and I reported him to his neighbours. The neighbours complained. Now he's moved. Now he's living in Hastings. All right. So now his accomplice in the Jack the Ripper murders done by two people. His accomplice is Jake Narver. You'll see him in those photos. He's 6'4" and about 5 foot wide too. All right, so now they're also working with Nick Grosso, Michael Schur, and also a guy called and Luke Parkhouse, and Michael Schur, Luke Parkhouse, and Nick Grosso. They all live in North London, and I now need the mental health staff to get them and section them. And I want them. I'm the head doctor, as Princess Diana said. And in respect to Princess Diana, you are to section those people I've just mentioned. And then I'm the head doctor, head psychiatrist. I'm also a trained psychologist. I also want these people mentioned, put section now, and put on Depixel 800 mils once every fortnightly injected, and this is going to go on until their trial comes to court, which could take a few months. But in the meantime, I want them locked up. Thank you. So working with Judge Charlton very closely and Jake Narver very closely is Katie Green, Barney Green, and their mum Fiona Green. They live at 28 Tottenham Street. Barney lives in Scotland. Katie lives in Highgate. They are Barney Green, Katie Green, and they're the green cards that is importing South Americans into America to kill the real bank owners. Actually, Katie and Barney Green are the real suitcase murderers and the instigators. Well, let's look at the suitcase murderers and what they're instigating. Southport murders, Nottingham murders, Maddie McCann. Okay, so much more as well. So that's Katie Green, Barney Green, and they're wanted by the courts. But right now, we need mental health to go and get them and section them and honour an injection once fortnightly, 800 mils of Depixel, ordered by the head psychiatrist. That's myself, Max. That Princess Diana, she wouldn't be saying I was a doctor if I wasn't a doctor. I've been assigned a doctor because my dad is St. John, head of the ambulance services. So, as Princess Diana said, not only did she say I was a doctor, she wants me to be the head doctor. All right. Now, Dr. Desai at the psychiatry department in Blackpool Harbour, he is grievously attacking me, and I'm now going to section him until his trial awaits court. Okay, so the court case is coming up, and we're just working on the trial right now, on the case, and it will be coming to trial quite soon. In the meantime, he's definitely going to be locked up and put in under section. Okay, that's Dr. Desai, and also the 5 psychiatrists all can be removed and replaced. We do not want those types in anywhere in England. Certainly they will be deported, if not imprisoned. So also working with Dr. Desai is a woman called Paula, also a girl called Christine, spelt with a K, and her boyfriend is a guy called Michael P. George. He's from Blackpool, and he's in Blackpool right now. They've got a dog called Nola, and they're also working with a guy who lives at number 38 Spencer Court off Talbot Road, and then there's a couple of others there, and one of them's called Paula. Christine, she put something in my food and I couldn't breathe. This was just last week, and I suddenly couldn't breathe. They were trying to poison me. I had to spit it out. Basically, I now need mental health to find these people. They are the suitcase murderers. They're in Blackpool, and we need to get them. They killed Charlene Downs too, also Alison, and a really nice Irish guy called Ryan. Now, Dr. Desai is wanted in prison for these murders. He's definitely going to Broadmoor. In the meantime, we're going to section him. Also, the guy at number 38, Spencer Court. Paula lives on the Spencer Court too, and there's two others there as well. They'll also be sectioned. They've also been attacking me and supporting the Suitcase murderers. Their addresses are known to everyone now. So for mental health and also the ambulance and police staff in Blackpool, there's a dark Indian guy who lives at number 26 Braithwaite Road. He's also the Southport murderers and the Suitcase murderer. And then he's placed himself very near a family that I know, and they're threatening the family there. So I now need them to be removed. First of all, the mental health needs to go there and ask them, give them 3 pieces of evidence why they've moved to Blackpool, because they've moved there recently. We know why they've moved there, but now they have to prove why they moved there. And if they can't provide 3 to 5 pieces of evidence why they've come to Blackpool, then I now want them sectioned while they await their trial. Because if you support the Suitcase murderers and that awful woman, Sarah Boone, or any of these murderers, the Southport murderer, then you're going to prison too for a minimum of 10 years. So the Southport murderers are actually the Suitcase murderers, and they've done 9/11. And one of them, as I explained, is living at 38 Spencer Court, and he's regularly trying to bash me. Right, and then another one is a woman called Paula. She's a prison head girl, and she's working with Stacey Patterson. They're sending Category A prisoners to try and jump me when I go out. They threatened to jump me a couple of times in one day, nearly all the time. And the Category A prisoners, they mean business. They want to kidnap me and put me in a derelict house and torture me, is what they said. Right, so that's Stacey Patterson from Blackpool and her friend Paula. Paula, I saw her when I first moved into my flat, and she said she was going to burn down my flat. They threatened to petrol bomb my flat. And that's the first thing she said to me was that, and that she called me a maggot. All right, so she's the far right actually, and they are, one white guy and 50 Africans, and that one white guy is a homosexual paedophile. So also, Stacey Patterson is working with a guy. She's from Blackpool, by the way. Stacey is working, and Paula, they're working with a guy called Rainer from Blackpool, and also Daz, who is from, I think, 11 Boundary Court by Garstang in Blackpool. And then also a guy there called Lee, a tall guy who lives at the top flat with a white dog, and the guy that lives opposite him. They're also the Suitcase murderers that have killed Charlene Downs. I now, as the head doctor, want mental health staff to go in there, section them on the pixel for the rest of their life to stop them, because the pixel will make the public safe, and that's the way we'll approach this. They will be sectioned. I now need mental health workers to go and get them and section them until their court comes to trial. So Stacey Patterson is working with a very dangerous prisoner, Category A prisoner called Rainer, and he's from Blackpool. And then Rainer has sent in some other dangerous people called Derek, Holmesy. Who else? Derek, Holmesy, Mikey. A guy called Albert, a Jamaican guy, tall Jamaican guy called Albert, his partner Lisa, and then Lisa's brother and her partner called Kathy. Lisa's brother and Kathy, they live up by the car park near Cash Converters in Blackpool. I can't get the exact address, but I will get the address very soon.